I'd like to start by acknowledging Ambassador Ayade, Embassy staff, Peace Corps Country Paraguay Directors Don and Jason, Trading Director Luisa, as well as all Peace Corps staff coordinators. Lastly, special shout out to Peace Corps Paraguay G32. Give yourselves a round of applause. We're sworn Now let's start this off with an icebreaker. It is my distinct honor to have been selected by my fellow training class to share some thoughts today as we all stand poised to embark on our service throughout the country of Paraguay. Since our arrival in Paraguay, we have been on a fast-track course called training that has sought to provide us with many of the skills we will need to excel as volunteers. We have been challenged to develop the language, technical, and cultural skills to help uphold the mission of the Peace Corps. I think it is safe to say that we have all found this process to be simultaneously daunting and inspiring. A beautiful struggle to live up to the convictions, ideals, and beliefs we hold dearest to our hearts and minds, coupled with the stark realities that exist in Paraguay in terms of social justice. Upon our arrival, we were presented with the trying task of learning Spanish and Guarani. I'm still scratching my head over the double meaning of just about every word in Guarani. Many of us have tried and failed miserably to figure out how to successfully translate the word awkward to Spanish. Culturally, volunteers have witnessed the beauty of the intercambio over tereré, mate, asados, chipa, and quinceañeras. I never believed so fervently in the power of sport until I witnessed the romanticism of the Paraguayos over the national religion of football. G32 members have demonstrated the ability to be resilient, adapting to the adversity that training would throw our way. Some suffered bouts with sleep deprivation at the hands of roosters, who, contrary to popular belief, make noise not only at dawn but at all hours of the day. Just ask Brett Larson. Others try to find ways to graciously say no to copious amounts of empanadas, sopa paraguaya, and milanesas, while embracing the notion that it just might be okay to put a little more meat on the bones. Technically, we went over topics like working with youth groups, parasite prevention, creating an engaging classroom, and how to incorporate just about every vegetable in Paraguay into a sex ed charla. Getting to know fellow trainees from all walks of life has been one of the most gratifying facets of our experience thus far. I've come to know so many inspiring and beautiful people. We are truly a motley crew, hailing from states across the USA, representing a diversity of race, ethnicity, class, gender, creed, experience, and most importantly, yo-yo preference. I've been thoroughly amazed by the dedication of the early elementary education group, who will be working tirelessly with Paraguayan teachers to educate and inspire the next generation of Paraguayan youth to follow their dreams and passions, instilling in students their capacity for greatness. The ingenuity of the rural health group is something to marvel at. Their ability to do everything from building fagons and latrines to teaching on a variety of subjects like nutrition, environmental ed, and water protection speaks volumes about their versatility. There are so many characters with so many stories, opinions, and perspectives, and so much to offer. I would be remiss to stand here without especially noting the bond I have formed with members of the Urban Youth Development Group, who will work with youth groups, schools, comodores, NGOs, and other groups to provide young people a platform through which they can develop in everything from self-esteem and leadership to computer and resume writing skills. I think about Stephen Lane, the boisterous dancer from Indianapolis with the contagious laugh, whose passion for youth coupled with his swagger and dance skills make it certain that I'll be using some of my living stipend to hire him as a dance consultant for my youth initiative. There's Christine Hallworth, who has worked with adolescents everywhere from inner city Los Angeles to Ghana, and never misses a chance to motivate her fellow volunteers to action with her infamous woo-hoo. There's Michelle Harden, who spent years working with children as a director of a YMCA in Southern California. Her tenacity has been the stuff of legend. She has been to the grave and back, overcoming every possible ailment training has thrown away. The biggest highlight of training has no doubt been our intercambio with the people of Paraguay, especially our families. The generosity, warmth, and love they have provided us is something that will never leave us and will always be close to our hearts. I cannot express how thankful we are for our training families and for the Paraguayan people in general for providing us with the gift of friendship. We cherish the bond that has been formed between Peace Corps, Paraguayan families, and the Paraguayan government. The best part is that we have only seen the tip of the iceberg, as there are so many more marvels in Paraguay to encounter. In the coming months, some will held at places like the Chaco, working with Mennonite and indigenous communities communities where people speak languages like Niva Clay and German along with Spanish and/or Guarani. Others travel to hidden gems like Emboscada to encounter the African roots of Paraguay. As volunteers, our common link is our belief in the concept of exposure, the stepping stone by which a dream can materialize. We all believe in the power of immersion in new ideas, positive outlets, and various forms of education that can help someone develop in the face of adverse circumstances. We are privileged to be guests in Paraguay working towards the common good. Many of us are here because of what we have witnessed or been taught. For all its shortcomings, the USA has provided us a lot of opportunities, and our presence here speaks volumes about what it means to simply be born there or become a citizen. We all feel a strong call to service as citizens of the world, working to eliminate social inequalities and eradicate many of the barriers to entry that exist because of arbitrary factors like race, gender, class, and ethnicity. We know all too well that working in development isn't just about a good heart and ideals. We are professionals and a symbol of something greater than ourselves. We must maintain this example at all times and be the best versions of ourselves. It's about mastering a craft and working every day to get better. Volunteers are in the business of developing people as we develop ourselves through this powerful cultural exchange. In Paraguay, we will learn lessons that no classroom can provide. Sacrifice is watching a mother get up at 5 a.m. and working all day to maintain the status quo for her family, while her daughter simultaneously is attending university on a full scholarship, working by day and studying at night to realize all her goals. Peace Corps is all about sustainability, creating projects with community members at grassroots levels that will exist and thrive long after our time here. I was truly taken aback when I met a teenager in the barrio of Puerto Botánico. His large family shares one bedroom, living with little, but with all the love in the world. I asked him what he wanted to do with his life, and he spoke articulately about how much working with a fellow Peace Corps volunteer in his neighborhood had changed his life and motivated him to action. He wants to dedicate his life to public service. His dream is to travel throughout Africa working with at-risk youth. In closing, I challenge all of us to think about the importance of legacy. We represent our country and over 300 million Americans. All 46 of us are the newest crop of the over 200 volunteers serving in this great country where Peace Corps has existed for over 40 years. We have the luxury of learning from those that came before and are charged with carrying on the torch. President Barack Obama recently spoke these words as our nation's healthcare system was on the brink of being revamped, and I think they apply today. Every once in a while, a moment comes where you have a chance to vindicate all those best hopes you had about yourself, about this country, where you have a chance to make good on those promises that you made. And this is the time to make true on that promise. We are not bound to win, but we are bound to be true. We are not bound to succeed, but we are bound to let whatever light we have shine. Throughout my life, my father always spoke to me about what he called the great equalizer, the point at which our time on this earth will come to a close, and none of our wealth and material possessions will go with us. Our immortality will be the lives we've impacted. I sincerely hope that in the upcoming years of service and the rest of our lives, that we maintain the beautiful spirit of youth, service, optimism, and determination that we wrote about in our aspiration statements. Let these 2 years be a time for self-discovery, improvement, and adventure. I want to thank all the Peace Corps staff who have worked tirelessly for us to be here. Recruitment officers, country directors, administration, APCDs, training directors, medical staff, training coordinators, volunteer coordinators, language teachers, and volunteers in the field. Thank you to all our family members and friends back home who gave us all the support and love we needed to get here. A special thanks to the government and people of Paraguay who have welcomed us into their home with whom we will form lifelong bonds. We are humbled to be at your service. In what has been a remarkable history of accomplishments in Peace Corps Paraguay, the best is yet to come. G32, as the newest members of the Peace Corps family, I know we can do more and go further than ever before. I dare us all to do better.